So once again, welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japan conference call. We are extremely fortunate to have His Grace Rasraj Gopal Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji will be enlightening us by walking us through Srimad Bhagavatam 4.22.22 onwards. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, are you there on the call? Hare Krishna, Rasraj Gopal Prabhuji, are you there on the call?
We can see him on camera, but he's not. We can't hear him.
Haribol, can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I had muted.
Alright, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, your valuable time and association this morning. And without further ado, I would like to hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Am I audible now?
Your voice is very, very low, Prabhuji.
Okay. Am I audible now? Haribol? Haribol?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We can hear you, but very low.
It's very low. Now?
Yeah.
Haribol?
No, Prabhuji. We need louder. Like, if you have headphones, that would be nice.
One second. How about now?
Yeah. Now it's good.
It's clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamadine Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajanghraye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. So today we are speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam, text 20, chapter Canto 4, chapter 22, text 22. So it's 4:22-22. Shraddhaya Bhagavad Dharmacharya Jijñāsayādhyātmika yoga nisthaya Yogeshwaropāsanaya ca nityam Punyashravaha kathaya punyaya ca. Sa Shraddhaya Bhagavad Dharmacharya Jijñāsayādhyātmika yoga nisthaya Yogeshwaropāsanaya ca nityam Punyashravaha kathaya punyaya cha. synonyms, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sa, that, devotional service, Shraddhaya, with faith and conviction, Bhagavad Dharma, devotional service, Charyaya, by discussion, Jijñāsaya, by inquiry, Adhyatmika, spiritual, Yoga Nishtaya, by conviction in spiritual understanding, Yoga Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Upasanaya, by worship of Him, Cha, and Nityam, regularly, Punya Shavaha, by hearing which, Kathaya, by discussion, Punyaya, by pious, Cha, also. Translation: attachment for the Supreme can be increased by practicing devotional service, inquiring about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, applying Bhakti Yoga in life, worshipping the Yogeshwara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by hearing and chanting about the glories
Hare Krishna Mataji, we cannot hear Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, we cannot hear you. Haribol? Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we cannot hear you.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes,
Haribol?
yes, we can, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, now we hear you.
Acha, I got muted by someone.
Oh Krishna.
Okay. So the word Yogeshwara is applicable to both the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and his devotees also. In Bhagavad Gita, this word occurs in two places. In the 18th chapter, 18.78, Krishna is described as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who is the master of all mystic power. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Yogeshwara is also described at the end of the 6th chapter, 6.47. Sa me yukta tamo matah. This yuktatma indicates the topmost of all yogis, the devotees who can also be called Yogeshwara. In this verse, Yogeshwara Upasana means to render service to a pure devotee. Thus, Narottam Das Thakur says, Chhadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payecha Keva. Without serving a pure devotee, one cannot advance in spiritual life. Prahlad Maharaj also has said, Naisham Matistavad Urukramanghrim Sprishatyanarthapak Sprishartya Arthapagamo Yad Artha Mahiyasam Padarajo Bhishekam Nishkinchananam Navranita Yavat. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.32. One should take shelter of a pure devotee who has nothing to do with this material world, but is simply engaged in devotional service. By serving him only, one can transcend the qualitative material condition. In this verse, it is recommended Yogeshwara Upasanaya, that one serve the lotus feet of the topmost yogi or the devotee. To serve the topmost devotee means to hear from him about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To hear the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the mouth of a pure devotee is to acquire a pious life. In Bhagavad Gita 7.28, it is also said that without being pious, one cannot engage in devotional service. Esham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridapataha. To become fixed in devotional service, one has to become completely cleansed from the contamination of the material modes of nature. For work in devotional service, the first item is Adav Guru Ashrayam. One should accept a bona fide spiritual master, and from the bona fide spiritual master inquire about one's transcendental occupational duties, Saddharma Pricha, and follow in the footsteps of great saintly persons, devotees. Sadhu Marga Anugamanam. These are the instructions given in Bhaktir Samrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami. The conclusion is that to increase the attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one has to accept a bona fide spiritual master and learn from him the methods of devotional service and hear from him about the transcendental message and glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this way, one has to increase his conviction about devotional service. Then it will be very easy to increase attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manoabhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here we are speaking about discussions of Prithu Maharaj. And the verse says Sa Shraddhaya Bhagavad Dharmacharya Jijnasaya Dhyatmika Yoga Nishtaya. So attachment for the Supreme, that means we need to have some attachment in the life. Without attachment we cannot survive. So one always has attachment to something in this material world. For example, if you see, some people are attached to money, some people are attached to their children, some people are attached to animals, and some of them are attached to God knows something else according to their whims and fancies. And devotees are trying to get attached to the Lord, attached to the attachment for the Supreme Lord. So for that, the second letter in this verse is very, very significant to begin with. In this class, we shall discuss some of the significant words in this shloka as per our Srila Prabhupada. So first of all, let me thank all the devotees who are connected to this Japa conference, and let me thank for the management, host, and every one of you, my Guru Maharaj, Param Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, and all of you. And I express my gratitude for having given me the opportunity to serve you for my own purification, and all the senior Vaishnavas. I beg your pardon and my dandavats to all of you. So Shraddha, we know it is very important word. Like in our economy, when we speak about economy, what is the most important word which is the significant part of the economy? So when I ask this question, the word which comes is, or what is the significant word? Yes, the word which comes is currency, because economy is all about currency. It is revolving around the word currency. For example, Indian currency is Indian rupees, or US currency is US dollars. So ultimately currency is most important word which revolves, around which the entire economy revolves. And similarly, when it comes to spiritual topics or spiritual science, then the most significant word is Shraddha. The analogy is for currency. So when we understand the importance of currency in the economy, we have to understand the importance of Shraddha in our spiritual path. So it is very important that we need to have faith, total faith, complete faith, 100% faith in the spiritual topics which are given, which are discussed, which are written by Vyasadeva, by Srila Prabhupada, and all the saintly devotees, all the senior Vaishnavas, all the Vaishnavas who have written the spiritual topics. So basically, our spiritual progress begins with the first word is Shraddha. Adau Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha. So when we speak about Shraddha, we all know that our Shraddha, when we speak about spiritual topic, is not very firm. It is not strong. For example, if I have to go to office and I have to catch a local train, supposing I have to catch a local train in the morning 7:14 local from Badlapur or Kalyan, and I have to reach Dadar or Burli where my office is situated, then what happens is, by default, as soon as I wake up and get ready and move out of my house and then reach the station, I just jump into the train. Do I have not faith in the driver of the train, the motorman of the train, who will carry me to my office place, the station where it is located? I need not think about it also. It is by default that I am having 100% faith, Shraddha in that driver. And similarly, it is the case of any transport mechanism. When I want to fly from Bombay to Bangalore, then without any hitch or without any thought, I just book my ticket and board the flight and just sit comfortably, reach Bangalore or reach the destination. So without any doubt, a tinge of doubt in my mind that whether this flight will be driven to Bangalore or it will go to Chennai. So I don't have slightest doubt in that matter, because I am having complete faith, 100% faith. So when we speak about material topics, most of the time we have 100% faith in certain institutions. For the example which I have given, like for transport, and many other things are there where we have faith. Like for example, when our child goes to school, we know that he'll go to school, he'll study there, the teacher will teach him something, and then he'll come back from the school in the school bus. We have faith in the driver, we have faith in the teacher. It's a known fact, it's a understood fact, or it is taken for granted that these faiths need not be developed. But why? The question is, why are we talking about faith when it comes to the spiritual topic? When we speak about Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or Vedic literatures, this word is very important. Sa Shraddhaya Bhagavad Dharma, one who has faith in this Bhagavad Dharma, with faith and conviction we should have, but it has to be spoken. In fact, the writers who wrote this literature, they had to write it specifically. Sa Shraddhaya, Adav Shraddha, and there is a verse which Srila Prabhupada quotes in the purport, that is 6.47, where Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo matah. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. So Shraddha word is very invariably used in most of the places in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, in all the Vedic literatures. Why? So it is very important for us to know that it is just like currency in the economy. If there is no currency, there is no economy absolutely. If there is no money involved, what to speak of economy then? Similarly, if there is no Shraddha, if we just go on chanting, we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. We chant mechanically. But where is Shraddha in that? We do not have Shraddha in the Harinam. We do not have the Shraddha in the literatures. But because of fear or because of some other factors, we feel that must. I hope I am audible. Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Loud and clear.
Yes. So because of the fear, sometimes, most of the times, we chant just because that somebody has told me, or I have given a promise to my Guru Maharaj, or some of my friend has told me that you do follow this, all your problems will be solved. So there are many factors which is contributing to the fact that I should chant. We are not chanting with 100% faith in the holy name. This is the major observation. It may not be true in all cases. Of course, there are many devotees who chant seriously, sincerely, and knowing that what is the reason for the chanting. But here, why do we do is, we chant because of there is some fear. So there is no Shraddha. And Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham. So first 6 chapters define different types of yogas. And moreover, we see the devotees of other margas, other sampradayas, they concentrate on majorly on these portion of Bhagavad Gita, that is first 6 chapters, and they speak a lot about them. And most of the Mayavadis, they rely on this first 6 chapters. I mean, it's a general observation. So the 6th chapter concludes when Krishna says, I have told you all the types of yogas, there are yogis which are connected to different margas or different paths of yogas, like Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. So there are different yogas, Hatha Yoga. But of all these yogis, Yoginam api sarvesham madhyaten antaratmana. One who is Atmana, one who is mind and soul, is fully engrossed in me, involved in me. Mai buddhim niveshaya, one who has invested his mind in me, his intelligence in me, that is Krishna. He says he is the best. Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmana shraddhavan. So he develops the faith. He develops the shraddha. Once Hare Krishna. So when we see this shraddha, we wonder how to develop this. How to develop this faith. So Prabhupada says, one develops this faith by, one is devotional service. I'm sorry, I just missed the shloka. Please hold on. Let me open the shloka again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, yeah. I'm just opening that 4th canto, 22nd chapter. Bhagavad Dharma Charyaya and Jijnasa ya Adhyatmika Yoga Nishtaya Yogeshwara Upasana Nityam Punya Shravana Kathaya. So here we find so many important words in this shloka. Attachment can be increased. One is practicing devotional service. So how can we develop the Shraddha? So first is, here the verse describes that you have to practice devotional service. Now again, when we speak about devotional service, there are many variations, because we like variegatedness. So devotional service is what? When I ask many devotees, what is devotional service? So some people say, that service which is given to me by my seniors. Some people say chanting is devotional service. Some say honoring Mahaprasadam is devotional service. Some say reading books is devotional service. Some say association of devotees is devotional service. So what is devotional service actually? Bhagavad Dharma. So we cannot refute these statements. They do indicate that these are all parts of devotional service. There is, as Prahlad Maharaj says, Navavidha Bhakti, 9 types of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoha, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. So these are the Navavidha, 9 types of devotional service by which a devotee can take the help of these 9 types of devotional service and progress and develop that Shraddha, develop that faith and conviction. Shravanam, Punya Shavaha. So then it begins with Shravanam, then we have Kirtanam. So without Shravan, we cannot do Kirtan. So it is like, when a child is born, he hears his mothers and fathers speak. He hears the surrounding situation, the people around him when they speak, and he hears them and grasps them, and then he starts speaking similarly. So it is a wonder that when a Marathi child is born in US and starts speaking English, and this another Marathi child who is born in Maharashtra and starts speaking English, and when you hear their accent, it is absolutely wonder. You see the child which is born and brought up in US speaks English in US accent, and if at all you hear them on phone, then you would be wondering whether I am speaking to a US citizen or a US born citizen or an Indian citizen staying in US. So it is very difficult. So that is how the child grasps the mother's tongue, and mother's tongue is developed. And what is a mother tongue, we say, is what the mother speaks. So scripture is the mother of all of us, and therefore our mother tongue is Vedas. The Shastras or scriptures, what they say, we should speak that. The Acharyas or Vaishnavas, they teach us mother tongue, actual mother tongue. So we are supposed to speak always scriptures. But what happens is, since we have association with the other place also, we get contaminated. For example, again in material world, when I start comparing the same fundamentals, so when we see when the child is also associating with other surroundings, as he grows up, then he goes to school and he has many different friends coming from different cultures, from different languages, and he gets associated with them, and he grasps their languages too. And no wonder when he comes home, sometimes we get astonished. What is this boy speaking? In Mumbai, you can speak Tapori language, and the child picks it up fast. That's how our ears are helping us to develop our language, our tongue. So when we do Shravanam properly, our Kirtanam will be proper way. So if we do whatever Shravan, the same output will come as a Kirtan. Therefore, Shravanam is given the first importance in devotional service. If we fail to hear properly, we will fail to do proper Kirtan. Again, hearing, I have spoken many times, sometimes, many times, or many times, you can say, our hearing is not 100% perfect. When somebody speaks spiritual topics, we give ear to the spiritual topics, but our mind is somewhere else. Our mind is somewhere working, and that is not the 100% hearing. So how can we do the Kirtan again then? How can we give the same output? In electronics engineering, there is a statement which says, when the input impedance is equal to the output impedance, maximum power transfer will take place. So when the hearing and listening, when hearing and the Kirtan, the Shravan and Kirtan are 100% equal, that time maximum knowledge transfer will take place. Otherwise, we will land in trouble. And hence, many times in my counseling meetings, I tell people, please, when there is a katha going on, especially in the temple by senior Vaishnavas or by any Vaishnava who is sitting on the Vyasasan, by our Guru Maharaj and others, by senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada and many others. So Just sit down and hear properly. Let 100% flow in the ears without any contamination. Let us not deviate our focus and concentration from hearing. If we want to progress, if we want to do kirtan properly, 100% perfect to the 100% effect, then the 100% hearing should be there. And that is the most important step, most important significant step in the progress of our spiritual path. So devotional service begins with hearing. Charyaya, by discussion. Hari Bol. Our Shraddha increases by discussion. Charyaya. Charyaya means in 10th chapter Krishna says in 10th chapter Hari Bol. He says
please mute the phone also by
Savan teacher, Raman teacher. So there is a shloka where he says my devotees are enjoying my leelas by discussing about my kathas and my leelas. So again there, how Krishna himself stresses that we should not discuss anything about prajalpa throughout our life. Each and every second of our life, we should always think of discussing on only topics about Krishna. Then you will say, how is it possible? Prabhuji, how is it possible? Many people will say, can I remain in the consciousness that 24 hours I will just speak about topics of Krishna? Most of them will say, you are mad. Are you crazy? But that is a fact. The scriptures say, my devotees are those who always are involved in discussing about my kathas and leelas, my pastimes. How I lifted Govardhan hill, how I encountered so many asuras, the Putana and Shakatasur and Aghasur, Bakasur, so many asuras, so many demons. So they discuss and they enjoy. Tushyan teacher, they are satisfied. Raman teacher, they fully enjoy. And where we are enjoying? We are enjoying in today's politics. Who will become the Chief Minister of Maharashtra? That is the talk nowadays. Rumors going on. Talks in the entire state, in the entire nation of India too. Why? Somebody will come and somebody will take place, and his place somebody will rule, and the things will move on. But are we? Should we spend our precious, most precious, valuable time, which we can never get even by bidding crores of rupees for the time which is gone by, we can never get. But still, since we are contaminated and since we are conditioned to this material world, we unfortunately tend to spend some important times discussing on other topics. Now, Rupa Goswami says, you should have Yukta Vairagyam. Yukta Vairagyam is very important. It means, since I am in this material world and since I have acquired a grahastha life or whatever varna which a person is in, then he is bound to do, he is committed to, or he is responsible for some of his duties according to the varna. And in that phase, it is not that he will forget Krishna. People will say, if you always, Prabhuji, if you are saying that I should be always talking about Krishna, then what should I go when I go to office and speak to boss? Should I tell my boss that, boss, now Krishna started, he took away Rukmini with him and started marrying? We cannot discuss all these things to the boss. To the boss, yes, we must say, this is my output today, this much I have done, this was my target, I have achieved this much. But this is outer, this is the externals. The internal consciousness is saying that I have I am still remembering Krishna and doing this. The analogy for this is given normally by the acharyas is Duryodhana and Arjuna. Both are lifting the bows and arrows and both are shooting arrows. Duryodhana is shooting arrows for his own sense gratification, whereas Arjuna is doing that same for Krishna's satisfaction. So therefore, when I am in this material world, having acquired some varna due to my past karma, then I am bound to I am responsible to do some activities which may look like similarly to the material people or those people who are not concerned with Bhagavad Dharma, who are not knowing or who know but they do not want. Those people who are not Krishna consciousness, who are not God consciousness, then we may say I am also doing similarly. No, they are eating where I am also eating. I have to eat. I cannot say I will now only chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and remain hungry. It is not possible for me. I am not in Dwapar Yuga or Treta Yuga or Satya Yuga. I am in Kali Yuga. I have to eat for my nourishment, bodily nourishment. But my consciousness is always there that I am doing this so that I may remain fit, and this fitness will lead me to do devotional service unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and my Guru and Gauranga. So this consciousness should be always there when we are doing any activities. Jijñāsaya. Now we come to Jijñāsaya. What is Jijñāsaya? By inquiry. What do we inquire? Mostly we see when we speak about material topics, when in a discussion, when there is a discussion about material topics, then I have seen invariably people, when they discuss material topics, then they speak for themselves. What I mean is, supposing there is a group discussion and a person is speaking about some particular topic, then he will always talk considering that there is some profit for himself. He will not think about others. But what happens in spiritual topic, discussion on spiritual topics, I have seen invariably when the devotees start speaking spiritual topics, then the devotee, when he speaks or he puts some statement, he is considering for somebody else. Now that happens because he is considering that somebody else is doing like this, so why should I do like this? Or the Shastra says you have to offer everything to the Lord, and then the bhoga you have to offer to the Lord and then eat, that becomes prasadam. So then he will say, the other devotee, he is not offering to the Lord. He is not offering. I have not seen him any time offering to the Lord and eating. So that's the discussion going on. So what I mean to say, when there is a discussion in spiritual topics, invariably people will speak. A person who speaks, he has a consciousness, indirectly consciousness of talking for others. But when it comes to material discussion, when the speaker speaks, in the behind of his mind, there will always, he will be thinking of for profit for himself. He will be thinking for how he can grow. But in the spiritual topics, unfortunately, this is happening. Somebody may contradict it. It can be wrong also. But most of the times, or 99%, I've seen when it comes to spiritual topics, when I ask them, what did you gather? What did you gather in the last 1 year? You are coming to congregation program. What did you see? So when I asked a person, he said, my father was started chanting more than 32 rounds daily. He was doing that, he was doing that, he was doing this, he was doing this. Now he is doing this. Completely the focus went on his father. I asked him, what did you gather? Similarly, the entire congregation, devotees from the entire meeting, all spoke for their some relative, their father, their mother, their friend, or XYZ. Unfortunately, we never consider the profit which I can gain in spiritual topics. this is the unfortunate part of our activity. I mean, these are some negative factors which we have to think and overcome. So the point is, inquiry, we should know what I should inquire exactly. When I ask, come on, let us speak about some topics. In the council meetings, when I ask them, let us speak about some topic which you want. Then the devotee, one devotee will say, Prabhuji, that devotee is doing like this, he is doing like that, he is doing like this. Some other devotee, why don't you speak about yourself? What am I doing? This does not happen most of the times. So we have to introspect ourselves. We have to look within ourselves to what is my fault, whether am I doing right or wrong. If I am doing wrong, what am I supposed to do? Whom am I supposed to approach? Now inquiry again. If a person is having a problem in the devotional service which he has been given upon, then what he does is, supposing I am having a problem, so I have to ask that question to my counselor or my seniors. Then what does he do? He analyzes his problem and then tries to find out a solution by himself first. And he thinks this should be the solution. But he is not sure whether this solution will be the right one to this problem of mine. So what he does is, he goes to his counselor or senior authority or whoever it is first. He finds that the answer is not suitable to him. Then he again starts thinking, what should I do? I didn't get the right answer. Then he goes to his senior, the first authority to whom he asked. Since he could not get satisfactory reply, he goes to his senior, and then he goes to somebody else. He goes to 4, 5, 10, 15, so many people. At last, among all these 20, 25 devotees or people, from one he gets an answer which is suitable to his question, to his solution, and he thinks that is the correct, and he tries to follow that. So then we should think, is it correct? Is it correct? So here the question of Shraddha comes. Have I Shraddha in my authority? Have I Shraddha in the authority which has been given to me, my temple or my center or whoever it is? I do not have. I do not have unflinching faith, unconditional faith, Shraddha. How can I progress? Is it correct that since I have not got the right answer, I go to the different person and try to get an answer which is satisfactory to me? No, never. The problem is, in that case what happens is, the first person would have given you a permanent solution to that problem, but most of the time it happens like this: the other person from whom you have got the solution equivalent to your solution, that may be a temporary application of balm on the wound. It will not resolve the total problem from the root itself. So most of the time it happens, and hence I always say, you please have 100% faith in the process described by Srila Prabhupada, in the process described by the Gurudev and senior Vaishnavas. We should have 100% faith and follow it with conviction. Definitely the problem has to be resolved. We need not go to somebody else and get like one person in this. When I was having a discussion, a devotee asked me, Prabhuji, should I now take second opinion? Means, supposing when I go to a doctor with for my treatment, so I have some disease, I have to go to a doctor, and the doctor prescribes certain things, and then I have doubt. I develop a doubt. I do not have full faith in him, and unfortunately that prescription does not work also. To that situation, that prescription doesn't work, and on the contrary, the disease deteriorates further. And then what happens? The person loses faith completely. He goes to the second doctor for the second opinion. So now what I can say is, yes, in the material world and the spiritual world, there is a difference. In the material world, Maybe it could be that you have to take second opinion, you may have to take third opinion, of course, because it is ultimately you have to protect your body. It could be you may go to the wrong doctor also. You may go to a wrong doctor who is not specialized in the disease which you have. You may be having problem with your bones, and you may be going to a specialist who is well versed in the nervous system. Then it is difficult for him, but then you have to take a second opinion. Similarly, in the spiritual topics also, when an authority is appointed by a temple, there I strongly feel that one should not go to a second opinion. One did not, unless the first person itself directs you to the second or third opinion. So this is inquiry, and therefore we must inquire about how can I overcome this problem. See, we need not inquire who is God. We need not inquire how I can do devotional service. I know all these things. I know Krishna is God. I know how devotional service to be done. But do I know how can I chant properly? Do I know when I come late in the night after 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, how can I get up in the... Then you inquire. The inquiry also has to be by intelligence. Adhyatmika yoga nishtaya, by conviction in spiritual understanding. We must have the conviction. That is what I am saying. 100% spiritual understanding should be there. Many people may have misunderstanding in spiritual topics also. Yoga Ishvara, Krishna says, we have to have faith in Yoga Ishvara. Here Prabhupada also says Yoga Ishvara means a pure devotee. So for Yoga Ishvara, Prabhupada describes Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, last shloka, 18.78, where Krishna says, Sanjay says, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. This is my opinion. Matir Mama. Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, where there is Yogeshwara Shri Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara, where there is Partha along with him, there only lies the victory. Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Mama. Shri Vijayo Bhutir, there lies the wealth, fortune, Lakshmi, victory. Niti Matta, the morality. Dharma, there lies the Dharma. So it is so nice. Krishna is already there in my heart. Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati, Sarvasya Chaham Hridhi Sannivishto. So he is there already in our heart. We did not struggle for Krishna. We did not struggle to find Krishna like we are struggling to get money. We are struggling to get relations. We are struggling to maintain relations. We are struggling to maintain relations in the family. We are struggling to maintain relations in the devotee family. We are struggling to maintain relations with our boss and other people. Everywhere we have to struggle because this material world is struggling. Krishna says, what is that? This soul is my part and parcel, karshati, but they are struggling for survival. I am sorry, I am not getting that sloka now. Maybe I am not prepared fully for the slokas, but it was all there in my mouth. Anyway, so there Krishna says, I am worried. These souls are all my part and parcel, but they have forgotten that they are my part and parcel, and they are staying in this material world, struggling for survival. Are we not struggling for survival? Every day we are thinking of family, a grahastha person, always thinks what will happen about my child, what will happen about my future. He is worried about the future of his children. He is worried about the future of sometimes his own future. the job is at stake, lots of problems. Here in Mumbai there are plenty of problems. Maybe in US you may not be having so much problems, but definitely in India or in Mumbai, tremendous problem. Every time you see, the person is always under tremendous stress, tremendous tension. Many people I have come across, they are into depression. They do not want to take devotional service. They understand, they are intelligent. They are intelligent to understand everything, but still, I am surprised. They still the mind has been conditioned so much that they do not want to come out of the shell, and just they say, no, I do not want to get involved in it. Prabhuji, I do not want to get involved. Please leave me alone. Hare Krishna. I am surprised. The parents are worried. What will happen about that child? Whether he or she will get married or not. So many tensions, so many problems, so many struggling, every time struggling. Why? Because we have forgotten Krishna. We have forgotten that Krishna is in our heart, and we have to approach Him. We have to move our attention towards Him. Instead of that, we are diverting 180 degree out of phase from Krishna, and our attention is diverted to all these glamours of material world. So Krishna says, Yatra Yogeshwaro, Sanjay says, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Matir, Dhruva Nitir, Matir Mama. By hearing and chanting about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So important. Let us hear, let us chant the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Let us glorify Him, Krishna. You are the Param Dhama, Paramam Bhavan. You are the Supreme. Let us accept the fact and let us worship Him by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If any of you have some questions or suggestions, you may come up, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Koti Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. We feel that we are sitting in Shri Radha Gopinath temple and the senior brahmachari has given a lecture to us. Yes, Prabhuji, when we travel in the train or bus or in plane or in a ship, we are not seeing the captain or pilot or driver face, or we have Adho Shraddha. We just jump especially in a Mumbai when we are going for a temple seva with one leg. So that time we not think about that driver. We have full faith. So like that, we have full faith in the lotus feet of Shri Radha Gopinath. Second thing, we explain that we have you ask question that what progress you have seen in your family. Then we are saying that my daughter is hearing and his days is going very peacefully. My husband is calm. But what change in my own self? Prabhuji, I am coming from Shri Radha Gopinath temple, so strong association that. But in abroad we are staying so far. So only Sunday we are going temple. So Prabhuji, this Japa group from last 3.5 years, after hearing everyday morning class, Prabhuji, my Japa is improving, and I learn lots of things from all the senior preachers, Prabhuji. And the second thing you explained about the profit you gain. So we gain the profit when we are in the association of senior Vaishnava. We learn whatever we learn. We don't have any qualification to preach any Vaishnava, but whatever we learn from senior Vaishnava, they are so pure hearted and their japa is so attentively. By that mercy we are able to preach our own family member, and after that our friends in the temple. So that Prabhuji, thank you very much. So many points you cover. Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Please give your association regularly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a nice class. I just have this question, Prabhu. Like, all our scriptures say Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, and so on. But also our Kali Yuga Dharma says that chanting is the only way to for Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. So can you please explain or throw light on how we can reconcile these two?
Let me gather your question. So you are saying you first said Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, right? Haribol?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the process. It starts with Shravanam. So my question is that, but still we insist that Kali Dharma is most active. So how can we reconcile?
I am extremely sorry, my speaker is giving a very less output. Anyway, what I heard from you is, I said, Prahlad Maharaj says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoha Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Datsyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam Iti Navadha Bhakti Lakshanam. So that is what he says, these are the 9 processes of devotional service. And Kalau Tad Hari Kirtana Krite Yadhyayato Vishnu Tretayam Yajanti Makai Dvapare Paricharyayam Kalau Tad Hari Kirtanat. So in Kali Yuga, whatever which is achieved during different processes in different yugas, the same can be achieved in Kali Yuga by just Hari Kirtanat. Yes, Mataji. So that is Kali Kalmasha Nashanam, absolutely true. Hare Namaiva Kevalam. But again, see, when we heard this, only we could chant. Na? See, when we hear, that is what I said. When a child hears or listens, if his hearing capacity is very good, only then he can chant properly. So chanting is the output of hearing. That should be always understood. The fact should be understood that how can we chant or how can we speak? How can our tongue move? Our tongue can move only after we hear. After some input is there, only that can be outputted. So therefore, Shravanam is very important. Now, see, when Shastra says, when you spoke that Prahlad Maharaj says Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, at least you heard that yes, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, that means you have to chant Vishnu, you have to hear Vishnu, you have to chant Vishnu, Smaranam, you have to remember Vishnu, Pada Sevanam, you have to do everything for Vishnu, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, everything, all the devotional service unto the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. So we have to do, when you heard this, then you can do all these things. Therefore, initiation is one process. In this shloka also, Krishna says, Prithu Maharaj says, in this shloka also, when we hear, if you want to know the real dharma, you approach a bona fide spiritual master. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. If you want to understand that spiritual matter or spiritual dharma, Bhagavad Dharma, then you have to go to Tad vidhi. If you want to know, then you become first pranipatena, that is humble, pariprashnena, unto inquiry, sevaya, you do service. So humility and service, these are the two most important factors for a devotee or a person to understand what he should do for devotional service. So then, that is again, the Guru then initiates him. He gives a mantra and he says, you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that those words, those mantra sound vibration, the holy divine sound vibration pierce into our ears and goes into our heart and comes from our mouth, and what we hear the Bhagavatam from Acharyas, those again go into our ears, again touches our heart, and then we speak Bhagavatam, that is Kirtan again. So therefore, Kirtan we can do only after if we hear properly. Otherwise, we will hear lots of nuisance things and we will speak about nuisance things. Because what I have heard will come as output, that is what we said. Hence, it is very important to be in the association of devotees so that we hear maximum glorification of the Lord, maximum about Lord's paraphernalia, Lord's pastimes, Lord's things, and all the things about Lord Krishna. When we hear, then we can chant very nicely, we can chant very sincerely. It is said LCD, that is loud, clear and desperate. We chant loudly, we chant clearly, and we chant desperately. So that desperateness should be there in us, that I have to chant, I have to cry for the Lord, that I am an unfortunate, insignificant soul, having moved away from you. Please let me come back unto you by chanting your holy names. So it is very important that we hear, and similarly it is that much important that we chant what we hear. And definitely we have to hear Hare Krishna Mahamantra and we have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Haribol, thank you, Prabhu.
So if nobody is there, then can we stop here?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll just quickly ask if anybody has any more questions for Prabhuji at this point before we end our class.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful session today. And we are very grateful to you and really look forward to having your association again in future. It was definitely a very beautiful class. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
Vancha kalparubhyascha krapa sindhubhya evacha patita nam pavyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rasraj Gopal Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.